Bonecrushers Studios. Just want to wish everybody a happy weekend. I hope you had a good weekend. We had a good weekend over here. We did have a little bit of bad news. The old Rec Tech smoker took a dive. Yes, took a dive for the worse, I guess. We were smoking some ribs, and all of a sudden, heating element gave out, and I had to save the ribs, so we finished them up put them in the oven for about an hour, 15 minutes. And then I wrapped them for about 2 hours, and they were delicious. Very delicious. The baby back ribs. Get your baby backs. Anyway, anywho, did get some stuff accomplished that I needed to get accomplished. We did get the house pressure wash like I wanted to. Bought some chemicals to clean. I got some chemicals in the back. And I have enough to do the house a couple more times if I want. I think I'm going to give it one more. There's a little bit of algae I wasn't happy with. But we'll see. I got the concrete done. The whole house is pretty much pressure washed except the back. And we'll get that. Tonight I plan to do some reactions to definitely the warning. I've got a couple people requesting me to do that, and of course I want to definitely do a little bit more of the Bandmade, and of course Nightwish. These are some big mega bands. Let's not leave out Sabaton, or leave out the band that I just found out called Accept. Really good. So we've got what is that other one I called? Rain. I'm trying to remember their name of that band, but Coco, you want to come up here? Want to come up here, Daddy? Coco the Wonder Dog. Then there's Daisy. Daisy generally will accomplish Purple in her endeavors when she's on here. But I'm just going to sit on here for a little bit. Plan to do a little bit of a reactions tonight, and we'll go from there. I do have some red lights on now. Let me see if I can get them to work, see what they look like behind us. Well, not too bad. It's not too bad. A little too dark. But that's okay. We'll leave it about right there. This way we can see everything, and everything can see me. So, I don't know if anybody's out there listening. I'm on here live. I just wanted to take some Q&As, some questions, some answers from people, and see what they got. We got the shut that off. See, now Facebook has where they can do enhancements. You can enhancements from your phone or whatever. That's what I'm doing from the phone. I'm not doing from the computer right now. But I am getting messages. I see EGCW sending messages out, thanking everybody for helping. They must have just had their show. Other than that, that's about it. So, just kind of a trial and error right now, playing around with this Facebook, or excuse me, the YouTube Live. Trying to have some fun. Look forward to talking to people. If anybody can get on here, they want to, send me a message like, hey, look, I'd like to hear you react to this or react to that. Man, I'm all about it, man. I'll do whatever. It doesn't bother me. Whatever you want, I'll do it. I'm all about learning about new music. And that's about it, man. We don't want to get too wild here, too crazy. And sometimes they get a little upset. Like I think some guy was upset. What did I said? I said he was shredding. And he had to reiterate to me the definition of shredding. Now, shredding on a guitar could mean, it's just a loose end term. It doesn't really mean anything. But apparently, some of the musicians who take it to heart, and we have some wrestlers that are like that too, that will play kayfabe to the end. And I got it. Protect the business. Nothing wrong with that. Not complaining. It is a little bit stormy here in Florida right now. I can hear the clouds right now. Oh, thunder boomers outside. We did have some pretty torrential rain for a little bit, but we are getting ready to get in our busy season as far as rain is. That is kind of our wet season, and they will have some huge thunderstorms. And then right around that August to about November, that's going to be the infamous hurricane season. And that's when things start really getting crazy. Um, Man, I hate it. I don't. That's the only thing I don't like about Florida is those storms that, I mean, we're right out there. Excuse me, there we have the potential of getting hit anytime. I remember one year we got hit 4 or 5 times. I mean, it was bad. It was so bad because I think I was working at the time in Inverness, and I remember Suncoast Credit Union. They stopped. They allowed people to defer payments on their cars. They wouldn't because it was so bad. None of us could work. These storms were just hitting us bad. I think I was driving before that. We had those bunch of storms come through, those hurricanes, and I was actually driving. I think with Davis, and I was delivering to Publix. And man, there was roads that were washed completely out. And that's when I used to drive trucks. I don't do that anymore. I did that 20 something years. And now I'm just a lonely service advisor advising people about their cars. But I love my job. That's what I love my job, and I love to talk. I love to get on here and meet different people. Man, there's so many different people from all different walks of life. And I find it fascinating and amazing. I'm a little unorthodox on exactly how, I'll mess up this, I'll mess up that, but generally I'll leave it on there because I'm real. This is who you get, there's nothing else special. That's about it, man. But I like to have fun with everybody. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I talked about that earlier. We had a very busy weekend. Friday was hammer time, get home. I think Tuesday I got to leave work a little earlier. I got to take care of some business, get some business taken care of. Other than that, that's about it, man. I got Daisy by my feet. I got Coco behind me somewhere walking around, and I'm just on here live, just running my gums. But like I said before, I do plan tonight. I might do 2 or 3 reactions. I've done some reactions to Nightwish. I've done reactions to Bandmade. I've done reaction to The Warning. I've done reactions to the rap battle with Godzilla versus King Kong. that one was a surpriser for me. Well, all the bands were surprisers because these are bands I've never even heard of. And I did reaction to Accept. Now they are more like old school metal, man. I really enjoyed them. They have an album, the 2021 album, right behind it, or just before the 24. They've only released that one song. I think it's Humanoid. It's Humanoid. That's what I believe it is, and it's pretty good. But there's a lot of music out here, a lot of topics to talk about. One day I'll get in here and I'll tell my alien stories of things that I have seen, things I've witnessed. So I don't want to go too deep into it until I have a whole show together or a whole podcast together to discuss that subject. I've been watching a lot of things about Antarctica. Really interested in that. Wondering why are things so off to us? A lot of things about the pyramids, all these super secrets. I don't understand it. What are they hiding from us? Hey, Coco, how you doing? And I don't understand. These animals that are in the oceans, the megalodons and these other mysterious creatures. I always find it fascinating. I always did since I was little. I always looked up to the sky and wondering, man, there's no way that we can be the only thing out there. There's just not. I couldn't imagine God just making us. I mean, I guess if he wanted to, he would. But I think there's a lot more out there. I hear a lot of people all the time talking about negative and bad stuff, and a lot of it is truth. But there is a lot of good stuff that comes out. I mean, just even on these platforms here, the music, the different people that are out there. See all these different people from all the different countries, and you're socializing in a sense with them and learning them. And I always said, and I've said this before, the problem with humanity is number one, we don't know enough about each other. You can watch videos. For example, I watch a lot of the Indian street food. Fascinated by it. I think I'm fascinated by it because in their culture, and their culture of what the Indian people are doing on these Indian street food. They use their hands. I mean, just and the people are eating from it, and it's no big deal. You know, for us, it's a little different. You know, we look back and like, oh my God, but to them, it's just the seasonings look really good. The stuff looks good. Now, when I see videos and I can see the rats walking in the bowls, I have a big problem. I guess I have a big problem with that. I don't think I can eat that at all, man. But I guess you eat what you can. But the people all look happy. I don't see anybody not happy. I look at everybody's enjoying the food and enjoying whatever, you know, that culture is for us. I mean, you can look at the types of food that we eat over here. Just the fast food restaurants. How really healthy is that? Not much, to be honest with you. Um, the drinks we're drinking, the artificial colorings and flavorings and all that stuff plays an effect on your body. You know, I'm trying to do a lot better. Of course, taking the multivitamins, taking stuff to help me out. You'll see me do post in the gym, looking at my goal, trying to be about that 235, 240, and just trying to maintain because there's so much out there that you can get sick from, you know. I've had a lot of people in my work sick all the time, man. And you see that kind of stuff and you're like, wow, man, that's just, you feel bad, you know. But everybody's different. I have a friend of mine who's super healthy. God bless him. He's going to get over it. And they just found out he had a form of leukemia. He's young. He's in his 20s. He just had a baby, you know, or you know, him and his wife had a baby, just got married, or just, man, it just, you know, sometimes you gotta look at life and be like, man, I really do appreciate what I have. You know, you look at sometimes you could be for us. You look at reactors like, man, look at all the numbers they got. Look at what they got. Look what they got. You know what? I'm happy just to be on here to be able to talk to a few people. You know, and if my numbers can grow, that's great. You know, I've always enjoyed, I always thought about one day, man, being on the radio and being able to talk and just come up with subjects and just off the script. I like off the script. I used to do that all the time when I was in wrestling. We had to cut promos, and I would see guys struggle, write stuff down, and I didn't really write much down. I just needed to know a few things about you, and then I would cut a promo on somebody, and and I did very well with it. Never got to the level that I wanted to, but I did accomplish a bunch of goals that I never thought I could do. Um, and I gave it my best shot. At the same time, I worked a full-time job where a lot of guys, they were 100% wrestling, and they may have worked a little part-time job and traveled from here to there, and it just wasn't a risk that I wanted to take. You know, I just wanted to have a little fun, you know, and I still respect it. I respected all the guys that were in wrestling that struggled. You know, some of the guys that they were actually eating out of their car and those kind of things. I was fortunate, man. I was driving a truck. I was making good money, and then I would come in, you know, towards the end of the week, and I would train, and I'd go right back out. So I was very fortunate in my career to do that. Since then, I've had a lot of the independent local companies around here want me to work, and to be honest with you, right now, I need to take care of my body a little better and get some of this weight off before I go back into the ring and start wrestling again. So we'll see. Right now, I'm having fun doing reactions, talking to people, meeting new people, um, and seeing all the different types of music out there. Man, I never realized. I guess blinded, man. There was a band I just watched from Indonesia, and they were playing rock, and they were like, oh my God, they were good, man. I was so stuck on AC/DC, Metallica. Nothing wrong with those bands, but this is what I listened to, the Def Leppards. And now, I've got all this whole other just rabbit hole to go down of these great bands that are out there. And I'm excited about it. So, every day I'll get on YouTube and I'll look at, pardon me, or I'll get on, at my Apple Play and I'll look up different bands, and yeah, pretty awesome. A lot of stuff. Oh, there goes the dogs. They're going crazy. That's Coco. Somebody must be outside. We have a ring camera so we can monitor the house on the front and back, see if anybody's showing up. And a lot of times, if a grasshopper walks out there, Coco, being a rat terrier, will boom, go nuts. She's going to get that squirrel one day. Daisy, you okay? It's thundering out. Daisy doesn't do really well. She gets anxiety about it. But that's Purple's dog down there. Well, I mean, I love Daisy too, but Coco is my dog. She's the rat terrier. And then we have Cookie, who is a lab mix. She is smart, but as dumb as the day is long. But, yep, see, I'm looking right now. There's a ring. There is a person at the front door. And who is that? Listening now. Huh. I don't hear anything. Tiffany might be somebody up there. Get a lot of stuff through Amazon sent to us, so you never know. Probably Amazon or post office or whomever delivering. Daisy's like, no, I'm out of here. But if there are other stuff that you guys want me to listen to, please send me stuff. Because, man, I'm a newbie at this, and I'm doing my best when I go back and forth. You'll see me look at the things, look at the screen, and because we run 2 screens, I'm looking to my left. Sometimes it's easier for me to do that. It may not be what the other reactors are and what they do, but I'm not like, I guess I am like them, but not. If I make a mistake, hey, I own up to it. But it's something that as I move forward into this journey and go deep into it, I'll know what to do and what not to do. I don't think anything is not right or not wrong. I think it's all a learning curve and having fun. The backdrop actually was used when I was wrestling, and I had planned to do a podcast with it, but I wanted something that is what I like. Something that, so the term or the name Bonecrusher was actually my father's CB handle, and I utilized that, and he liked the boxer Bonecrusher Smith, so we just incorporated Bobby Bonecrusher Smith, and it just went from that. And when I drove trucks, I had planned to do a YouTube channel just by the trucking thing. Then the DOT got involved, and they were kind of frown upon it, and hey, you're supposed to be sleeping, and why are you up this late? And it just got too much with the maybe if I was an owner operator, been different. And not that my company's ever said anything I work with, but excuse me, well, I just didn't want to get involved in all that. I just fly under the radar. But now I'm home, I'm off the road, and we are moving forward. Purple's doing really well with her reactions. I'm real proud of her. She's the one that set all this stuff up. I was listening to some of the sound that was with us before when I first started, and the sound was just absolutely terrible. And then the people were so nice about it. There was a few people that were kind of nasty, but you're going to have people like that. Just have an email. I'm looking over to my right, my iPad. Somebody asked me, when did I get into wrestling? So I started wrestling right around 1999, 2000. That's when the big, Y2K 2000. And I got injured within seconds in the ring. My first time in the ring, I wrestled this guy named Edward G. Ecstasy. We weren't even wrestling, we were kind of training. And I went in with a back elbow. And when I did, he didn't take a bump. He went forward, and it ripped my spinatus, and my arm just dropped to the ground. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I got to drive a truck. So it wasn't, I could still drive, but I didn't want my company to know I was hurt, because at the same time we had to unload flowers. I was working for Lester Coggins, and they were sponsoring me. So I came back the next month and hurt the other one a little bit. Then I took a month and a half off and trained my shoulders and train. I had lost so much weight. That's what happened. And then from then on, I wound up, the only other time I really got hurt is when I got busted up over my head with a belt. Pretty good with that. Took about 10, 12 stitches, just pouring blood. And then I hurt my quadricep. I was doing a ring run in, and one of the boards underneath the wrestling ring had shifted. And when it did, it cut right into my quad. Man, it was painful. And I walked like that 6 to 8 weeks. Finally, I told my wife at the time, I said, look, I can't take this no more. So we went to Dr. Chung. They went in there, cut it, fixed it. Coco, what are you doing, baby? You want to get on the mic and talk too? You want to come up here with Daddy? That's Coco. Come here, Coco. Come here. Come here. Come here. Get up here. Get on live. There we go. Uh-oh, drop the mic off. No, don't go sniffing. There we go. There's Coco. Coco, say hi to everybody. Ain't you my baby? Yes. She's my little girl. She loves me. You want to be on here live? Say hi to everybody. Say what's up. Yeah. That's my little girl. She sleep with me. Do you love your daddy? Do you love me? Does that rain bother you? She don't like the rain too much, the thunder. All right, baby. There you go. So anyway, that's my wrestling story of how I started. I worked with a lot of different independents. I did have a chance. I trained with Dory Funk. Someone else asked me who I trained by. I trained by Dory Funk Jr. Dory Funk Jr. was a local guy here in Central Florida. I used to see him all the time. And I remember him telling me, he says, Bobby, before you get into wrestling, have something to fall back on. I'm like, all right. So I went, started driving trucks, and I called him up, and he was at the gym I was working out at the time, 2 Year Health Spa. So they had a training facility. They had worked a deal out with them that was in the racquetball room. So we would train in there. I think it was once a month or every once a month. They were working with WWF, WWE wrestlers at the time. So I wound up joining them, I think one of the coolest things we did the last few shows with WCW. I got a chance to get Big Papa Pump to give me a nice, good clothesline. I took a nice, crazy bump for him, and I was still injured there at the time. And then we did the saddest thing I ever did. Oh my God, guys. We were at, was it Panama City? It was the last WCW show. One of my positions is I played security for DJ Ren, who was there. I think it was DJ Ren. He was awesome. And I remember watching Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, all of them were there. They took the wrestlers in and all the WCW guys. I don't know what was said or what happened, but it was to see Ric Flair with a shirt on. I couldn't believe it, man. But it was still a good match with him and Sting. Some of the biggest rivals was him and Sting and Dusty. And I tell you, the big rivals was Dusty and Ric Flair. But when that happened, man, it took the sale out of us because we did not have another place per se until kind of TNA opened up, and then Hulk Hogan tried to run a federation, and then Ring of Honor sprung up, and then some other promotions that were, I think it was FIP. There was a few promotions that were paying guys, and I thought WWE would have done more with WCW, but it never happened. Kind of pushed those guys under the thing, and just had a bad taste in my mouth about it. And then all of a sudden, AEW shows up. Cody Rhodes is kind of the forefront, and he built this baby up to be a monster. And to this day, they're still doing decent numbers. Like Cody since has gone. No one will never know the true story. I tried to watch some of why he left when he did a podcast with Stone Cold, and I don't know. I don't know what happened. I just don't know. I think the problem was him being there. He would always be looked at as the boss, and he never truly could get a good run for the belt because it wouldn't have been fair. And that's why he did one of the reasons I believe he did what he did. You know, it's crazy. I have been the booker for many a shows. Booker's a guy that helps, puts a show together in the back, who's going to wrestle who, kind of in the independents. He's the one that tells you who's going up, who's going down, per se. But, and I've had a chance to be the heavyweight champion in multiple places. My last place I was EGCW. Got a chance to be a heavyweight champion there. And great guys, great group of guys, great owners. Just great people all over. We've got a company here that I may be doing some stuff with. Brick City Entertainment, great guy, Mark. Mark runs it. Death Mark. He runs the federation. So there's a couple of young guys I'm kind of keeping my eye on, watching them. They're doing really well. And I'm proud of them, you know. But it's just one of those things. But I'm trying to pay attention to emails and stuff coming in, talk to you guys. Somebody asked me if what they asked me if I ever. No, I'm not going to answer that. Somebody asked me if I ever dated ring rats. So ring rat. So ring rat is generally back in the day, even to this day, you have these girls that will come up there. They're so just at all about someone being a wrestler. Now I stayed away from that because I've seen too many of my buddies get in trouble with it. Yeah, I never messed with no ring rats or nothing like that. I did date a girl that her dad was a wrestler. He was like a jobber for WCW. His name was Keith Steinborn. So I dated his daughter for a while, and later on, you know, just things didn't work out, and I went and moved back to Florida, where my home was. So yeah, interesting things. I'm still trying to drive trucks. I had one of my best friends who kind of helped pay the way for me in the wrestling, and he wound up being my manager. And it was Big Joe Martin, who at the time was well over 500 pounds. He could move too for a guy his size, but he would later on be my actually be my manager. And then since then he's had the stomach surgery. He's an owner operator now. I'm not sure what company he works for, but he said, you know, it's a struggle out there for the owner operators. The price of fuel, the price of repairs to get parts for stuff. Even for us at the dealership, some of these parts we can't get. They don't make them, or the part was such a bad idea on a car that they're looking for other resources to redo these parts. You know, I've got guys waiting on fuel pump control modules, turbos, you name it. But anyway, I didn't want to get on here too long, but it looked like I've gone a little bit over what I wanted to. I was going to go 15 minutes. We're pushing the half-hour mark now. But hope everybody has an awesome Sunday. I do plan to get on here, and if there is anything you guys want me to react to, please send it to me. I'll do it. You know, if I don't like it, then I don't like it. You know, but for the most part, I've liked everything that you guys have sent to me. All right, guys, I got to get going. Let me hit the little button up here, and we will be talking to you again pretty soon. I'm going to start having some real deep subject lines, and I want to go a little more prepared. Right now, it's just off the script and live, but we got to go. Maybe.